Welcome back to another issue. I'm Beastie Boy.
I'm Table.
I'm Psycho Red.
And it is I, Shino Brando.
And for today, we unlock our Ranger form and rank every Power Ranger series.
They
Here we
look
go,
cool. They look cool.
The Disney era with Ninja Storm. Based on
Ninja
Ninpu
Storm.
Sentai Hurricaneger.
Okay.
This is the first one that was shot in New Zealand, so points because
Okay.
Power Rangers would continue to use that as a base for shooting practices and filming and post-production.
They got good forests, bro.
Ninja. I'm trying to find what they look like. I don't remember.
fun
them.
No,
fact-
Ninja Storm was great.
Ninja Storm featured a 5, so initially it was a 3 Ranger team. It was red, blue, and yellow.
Yeah, okay, I
And
see
then
them
the
now. Yeah,
Thunder
yeah.
Rangers joined, which was a very dark red, which it's got points from me because haha, red.
Mm-hmm,
And a very dark
called
blue
it, like,
as the
maroon.
Thunder. As the Thunder.
The
Rangers.
Beetle Boys.
Yeah.
The Battle of Beetle Boys, yeah.
Okay, I remember slightly remember this one. They were like rival clans or something.
Yeah.
They were kind of evil
Yeah,
ninjas
they
for a
were
little
doing
while.
that for a little
Yeah.
while. It also features who I think is the second most influential Green Ranger.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Cam.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Where Cam straight up made a clone of himself, and the clone just locked him in a closet and that was just fine.
In the last 5 episodes of this series, again, spoilers for something that happened in like 2003, 5 episodes from the end is when Cam actually goes back in time and is able to get his Green Ranger powers just to come in and Deus Ex Machina the end of the series.
Okay.
Holy.
Yeah, I still remember some of that. Yeah.
Until
okay.
then, he was basically like the kid in
Tech
the,
support.
the tech person.
But, like, there was the guinea pig, which was a little bit weird.
The CGI.
But you know what?
Yes, sir.
The CGI guinea pig was a little bit weird. But you know what? I was okay with it. And in general, Ninja Storm was just really good.
I find this one the most rewatchable. Genuinely.
Yeah,
Really
it
now?
doesn't hurt to watch.
No. This was a series where they definitely took influence from Johnny Tsunami,
Mm-hmm.
which was cool. And they took what was really great at the time, or well, really popular anyway, like X Games and BMX racing
Yeah.
Mhm.
and motorcycle racing and surfing. Like the Blue Ranger. who was a
Motorcycles
girl
come
in
up
this
a lot.
series, like her main thing was surfing. That was one of her character traits.
And
I
the
believe
thing about this,
Both the Red Ranger and the Thunder Red Ranger, like, were rivals when it came to dirt biking.
Yellow Ranger was the dirt biker.
Oh, there we go.
Red Ranger was a skateboarder.
Even better.
Mhm.
And both the Navy Ranger and the Dark Red Ranger were also dirt bikers. Again, I've watched this fairly recently.
but even with the series too, like let alone that, the casting was, I think, because like you mentioned of like the New Zealand shooting, it was, I think, the most diverse cast at the time, or not most diverse, but it had at least a diverse cast.
Yeah,
comparing
they had a
to how,
diverse
like-
cast. I do remember the choreography being off the chain too. This is like
Oh,
they
it was
kind of
amazing.
And
Yeah, they
were
kinda-
ninjas first.
yeah.
Above all
They
else,
went to
they were
ninja
ninjas.
school.
Yeah.
That
Like, I
also
remember they-
happened to
they-
skateboard and surf and BMX and this.
they
They
were
went
like,
to ninja school.
it was pretty cool. Like I remember that, like when they got into battle, things were like a ninja versus ninja movie. A lot of flipping, a lot of rope, a lot of rope play. Pulling them, making them fly in the air, all that stuff. It looked pretty good compared to everything that came way before it. It was good and watchable when I saw it. Never really dove into it hardcore. I do remember them looking cool and them like kicking ass, like really really sweet on screen. So
My proposition
I
is
think it's S tier.
it is in fact S tier.
I was
I'm gonna-
okay. Thank God.
I'm gonna go with you.
Okay, no, because I was legit about to fight anybody who was like, this might be pushable for an S rank, and I was like, I really wanted to be
Absolutely
S rank.
tier. Now we get to the one that I had the first video game of, Dino Thunder. This one is based off
Ooh.
Bokuru Sentai Aba Ranger. This is famous, really famous for reintroducing Jason David Frank back into the Ranger, like his Ranger form.
Now,
Mhm.
okay,
He's the
so
Ranger in that one, yeah.
So
can I ask you a question now? So for me now, this is where I get a little confused because like with the Zordon thing, right? In my head, that was like a whole different like universe.
it
Okay.
is and it isn't. So unless
Okay.
it's specifically said that those Rangers don't exist, they all
Mhm.
exist chronologically.
So what
So,
you're saying
Jason
is
David
unless
Frank's
they
Tommy becomes
Yeah.
Dr. Tommy Oliver,
okay,
who remembers his time as both a Mighty Morphin,
hmm
Zeo, and Turbo Ranger.
okay,
So all of
that
happen.
canon to him.
so all that happened.
Right. This introduces his 4th on-screen suit as Dino Thunder Black
Mhm.
and gives him the Brachiozord. And because Jason David Frank had a lot of American commitments at the time, he wanted to spend a lot of time with his then growing family.
Right.
Jason David Frank's Black Ranger spends a lot of time either off screen stuck somewhere,
Right.
or it's just the suit, but Tommy can't unmorph from the suit.
Oh.
He got trapped in the black suit for a while. And it was kind of funny.
Yeah, it was pretty
Okay.
good. He also gets trapped in some sort of realm there for a while. But because they specifically shot an event, a dream sequence, where Tommy runs into his green, his white, his red, and his black suits,
Yeah.
and has to concentrate on the power to be able to handle all of those different transformations just mentally.
Okay.
Having that energy still in you somewhere,
Mm-hmm.
having just remnants of the morphing grid, like, has affected him over time.
Okay.
And instead of him being like going off to the peace conference like his fellow Mighty Morphin,
Yeah.
this dude became a doctor in paleontology.
He got
So
really
fun.
into dinosaurs and made a friend, and then that friend did some real unethical science.
This also features funnily enough, another evil White Ranger who then joins the good guys in like the last 10 episodes. And it's the White Rhino Ranger.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, I thought he was a dragon.
Oh yeah, it is a dragon. Yep, you're right.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, White Rhino is a different series. I'm confusing it.
Yeah, you're confusing it.
It's completely understandable.
Yeah.
This is not the last time we will be in dinosaurs. That's okay. We'll come back.
So this is the one that confuses me the most because I didn't know how this works because I thought Power Grid was depleted. I don't know how they became more like Power Rangers and like Tommy's still doing his thing.
yeah, so the
and-
morphing grade continues to exist, but your
Mhm.
access to it is either from coins or Tommy's staff, for example, or straight
Okay.
up just morphers.
All right. And anything
And they
featuring
connected it
Tommy.
via, like,
Mhm.
they touched fossils, I believe,
Okay.
and then got dinosaur. And you had the one who could. It was one of those. Oh, we suddenly have powers. That's weird in their daily lives thing that becomes recurring as we
Right.
progress into the Power Rangers universe. I think the yellow one could scream real good.
Yeah, she had
Yeah.
she had the banshee ability, I think, or like close to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
The red one was fast, and the blue one was
trying to find an image of them here.
strong skin,
Right.
I think. Is how that one worked?
Yeah, spiky shield maybe.
Yeah, the Triceratops, I think.
They got an enhanced form that takes the white from their costume and makes it external,
Okay.
which I think is a really interesting concept that
They
not
got
a lot of
spiky.
the other series do, by taking
Oh,
a design
yeah.
element that's already there and just exuding it now, as opposed to like getting armor or like getting a different form altogether or shifting into other rangers for power. Megaforce.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll get
I
there.
remember this now. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they got spiky, and that was kind of fun.
In this,
Their helmets
in
also
Dino Thunder,
roared.
we did have a crossover with Ninja Storm, so that makes it infinitely better.
Yes,
Automatically gains points.
Automatic points.
Okay. They don't look terrible. They look pretty cool. Tommy, of course, looks cool as shit. The white one looks cool as shit too. Yeah. I've never seen this one in ever. I've seen like one or two episodes because like I remember them talking about Tommy returning and all that. I'm like, how? But like never watched it. So were you guys putting this on the list here?
I was thinking A tier, but in between Wild Force and Zeo.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I can live with that.
Dino Thunder.
That takes us to Power Rangers Police Force.
Boo.
I think that automatically gains negative 152 likability.
Damn.
Is that S.P.D?
Yeah.
S.P.D?
It's like Space Police Department or something.
Yeah.
Space.
Special.
Space Police Delta.
I think.
Yeah.
Was it?
So not
Space
only is it
Cops.
one team of SPD Rangers, our main Rangers are actually the B team.
No, really. Yeah, I remember that. That
Oh.
was a thing.
This is the one
SPD
that
is Space
features,
Patrol Delta,
Dougie
that's what it is.
Kruger
There it is.
as the Shadow Ranger, and I think he gets some
Mhm.
cool points because he's got a big 100 on his chest. Because a Sentai anyway, the numbers on their chest, the higher the number, the stronger you are. And so Dougie Kruger having the 100 means he's super strong.
Oh, so 5 outranks 1 here.
Distressing dog.
This also features kind of sort of Rangers in a sort of Pink Kitty Ranger, who one of the assistants turns into, but she's not part of the SPD team officially, But once you're on SPD, once you get hired per se, because unlike the other series, this is not a title that is granted to you. This is a job.
Mm-hmm.
They got hired.
Right.
There was an interview process.
There was an interview process. There was an application process. Listen, it's just Power Ranger Cops. I think it should go in C.
It's at best C.
I'll put it at C. I am not going to argue.
And
Was-
after Time Force.
Sorry, just to clarify, for S.P.D, like the Red Ranger was a black actor, correct?
Sure was.
Yes, he was.
Okay, for some reason, like some other images I'm looking at, there was one where there's a white, or I guess it's like the Blue Ranger swapped out with the Red Ranger, and then you just don't see the black actor for some reason. So like people are swapped around or stuff like that. It might be like a fandom one, but I'm not sure.
Not too sure either.
Yeah, so after Time Force goes SPD. That brings us to Mystic Force. This is based on Maho Sentai Maju Ranger to transform. This is personally what I think is the stupidest call out in my entire life that I have heard.
Give us that call out, Red.
Mystic Force.
They're
Woo!
wizards and witches, and also they have capes. And I wish I could give them points for the capes because I was like, ooh, capes are fun. But
So,
It's like elemental wizards. It gets lots of points because Udana, the white Deus Ex Mama, the Snow Ranger, the Snow White Ranger, something like that, turns out to be the mom of one of the characters who lost both their parents, and Deus Ex Machina's their way to victory at the end of it because she dies, and then the villains get her staff, and Power Rangers, friendship, and then they succeed in the series.
can't believe this reminded me of the ending that reminded me that I actually did watch that. Oh god.
I had worked a full-time job at this point, and so I had weekends off, and whenever I woke up mid-morning, like around like 10, 11, Power Rangers would be on, and this would be the one I was on, so there would be nothing else for me to eat cereal to, so I just watched this thing. And I remember most of this show, and this show sucks.
A character gets turned into a vampire at one point.
It sucks. Like, none of the Rangers are likable. They're kind of annoying a little bit.
The only Ranger I actually like is Udana because her white Snow Ranger costume is cool.
Yeah, like, the show, their Zords were stupid. Everything was stupid. It ended terribly. I don't know. It was just a
They
bad
made
show.
cards of
How they
this one
pilot
for
their
some
Zords.
reason.
Sorry?
They made cards of this series for some reason.
I think the only reason why I like this was because maybe the video game and just the abilities that they had.
Hold up.
Because
Table, what did you say?
Do we want to talk about how they piloted their Zords?
Yes.
They played chess.
You
They went
have
through
something on that, right?
Played
Okay.
chess and giant sliding things. What in the world? We've seen some stupid methods of piloting Zords. Let's be real. Like
Right.
in
And
Dino
they're
Thunder,
about to
they
get
put their
stupid.
hands on a ball. Like
And
what?
Be-
Chess. They're playing supernatural chess.
and Beastie, you were saying what?
I think the only reason I maybe liked it like as a series,
Mm-hmm.
like okay, just like recollecting to it now, I'm just like
Yeah,
I think it was maybe just because like the ability wise, like it was a different take because it was more the elemental factor, and maybe just like one of the games that they had put out for a PC or like whatever like system at a time. I think that might have been it.
I
They had
couldn't
to
wait for
learn
this
spells and level up as if they were in a goddamn video game.
RPG. I couldn't wait for this thing to fucking end. I hated every second of this fucking show. Oh man,
So what I'm smelling is dumpster.
I'm throwing
Worse
this in the.
than Turbo.
Oh yeah. Oh yes.
Damn, we're
Oh,
putting
yes.
it that low.
Yes. Oh
Damn,
yeah.
dude.
Damn.
Worse than Turbo.
All right, now we get to the series which I think is the most forgettable. We get to
Mhm.
Operation Overdrive. This one is based on
But you
Gogo
see-
Sentai Bukenger.
Okay.
It does feature a crossover episode called Once a Ranger, where
Mhm.
the Black Ranger from Mighty Morphin, Zack,
Yes.
is back.
And this is the only reason why I love this series.
I 100% agree. Honestly, the fact that we start the series in this one where the villain has already won, and now it's a
What?
fight upwards,
Yes.
as opposed to fighting the villain that's trying to take over the world. This one already succeeded.
Now, Beastie, I'm gonna let you end something. There was one character, a black actor. He played the character Will.
Yeah,
think
I
he-
see him
I
right
think-
here.
Yeah, I think he was a Black Ranger as well in that one.
Yep,
And,
his costume is the Black Ranger one.
Yeah. So this guy, I remember this series clear because this is the one that came right after Mystic Force, and I was like, okay, I'll give this one a shot and see if this is any better than what I just watched.
Mhm.
And his character, fucking genius. He's cool as shit. His character was at one point mid-season became so popular that his character featured the most fights between him and the villains, solo fights for that matter. So for me, it holds a special little spot in my heart because of that, because they gave a black character a little bit more spotlight than usual. So for me, it holds a little place in my heart for that.
They're like, hey, you know what? He's getting attention. Let's do something with it.
Dude, he was whipping the most ass in that show for some reason.
Dude,
He wasn't the
left
leader.
and right.
Series I didn't
Yeah,
watch
so-
very much, so this is a you guys party.
Yeah, for me, I love Operation Overdrive just for that. It's a totally forgettable series, right? Because not really
Yeah.
much goes on in it for you to be like for like a memory. Like nothing's gonna burn in your memory from this series. But for me, the only love I hold on to it for is because of that factor. Because they gave the character Will so much more screen time than any other black character would usually get in a show, right? So for me, the action was always top notch. It was better than Mystic Force, and the fight scenes were always kind of brutal, man. Like they kind of tossed these Rangers around. These guys were being slammed into like rock mountain. They
these guys
had a
got
fight in a
knocked the fuck
volcano. Yeah, man. Like it was pretty brutal in their fight scenes. So because of the forgettable factor of it, I will leave it in B tier.
It's forgettable, but very watchable.
It's very watchable. Like you can go and watch it and be entertained, but it won't
The
strike
second you
you.
walk away from it, you're not
Yeah.
going like, oh, when can I keep going? No, you're just
Yeah.
like, well, I guess I may as well put it on.
It's done. You watch it,
Right.
it's done.
In
One and
the
done.
popcorn
You're good.
season, I don't find anything truly memorable about it. But now we get to Jungle Fury, which is
Sorry. Are we putting
So-
Operation Overdrive?
it's going
then?
after Lost Galaxy in B tier.
Yeah.
Really?
Which makes it worse than Lost Galaxy.
really
Worse than Lost Galaxy, but
'Cause
better
it's-
than Lightspeed Rescue.
Yeah, better than Lights because you like Operation Overdrive, you don't remember shit about it. Like you don't.
I couldn't name a single character from that.
I don't
that
know, but the
series.
thing is, I
So in
remember
B tier, we
Operation
have
Overdrive
In
more
Space,
than Lost
we have
Galaxy.
Lightspeed Rescue, we have Lost
Yeah.
Galaxy, and this is order from best to worst.
Okay, so sorry, give me the
In
best and worst
Space.
then for B rank.
In space.
Lightspeed Rescue,
Yes.
Okay.
Lost Galaxy,
Uh-huh.
Operation Overdrive.
Yes.
I like the thing is,
Mhm.
part of me would fight for Operation Overdrive over Lost Galaxy.
I
not gonna lie
will.
to
I
you.
will agree. Yeah, I'll agree with you on that because
I'll
like
grant you
their
that.
costumes are
Okay.
better.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah,
I
because
don't hate
the thing
costumes
is,
as much in this one.
because and the thing is, because of as we're saying Disney era, I remember this way more than Lost Galaxy, and I can like as
Yeah.
we said, I can function with this a lot better if I was like to do
Yeah.
okay, one and
Yeah, it's
done,
very
let's
much a
finish the
popcorn
series.
season, you know. That
Yeah.
takes us to Jungle Fury, my second most rewatched
Hey.
season.
Jungle Fury is just good.
Right? So it features again. They start off as ninjas. Ninjas first.
Mhm.
We like ninjas.
Their gi, their outfit, obviously is color coded. So we have a like
Okay.
all their gis for when they are actually doing their martial arts and doing training.
Yeah.
It also features
Normal ninja.
the best mentor in the entire series, RJ,
Mhm.
who leaves his team, right, as like when they become Power Rangers. RJ doesn't join the fight until it like halfway through the series to when things start to get a little more serious. And because he had a
Yeah.
bad experience and faces a little bit of PTSD over it,
Yeah.
Mm.
Means you get character growth.
we get character
Yeah.
growth.
Yeah,
This is
no, that was
where
an interesting
the
aspect.
White Rhino Ranger comes from that I was speaking of earlier, who
Yeah.
features the most ridiculous morpher out of the entire series. It's just this big, like it takes up half of his forearm.
Yeah.
It's really
It's
fucking
ridiculous.
silly.
It's a gun. It's a fist. It's a crossbow. It's too many.
It's really fucking.
It's
The
whatever
re-
you want it to be.
The cool thing about this friggin' series, man, is that it went to like old kung fu movies, and these
Yeah,
guys
they
were
time
really
traveled,
kicking the
too.
shit out of things, man. Yeah, like it was
Right, and
cool
the
as
villain
shit,
is
man.
super tied into who RJ is and
Yeah.
where the training initially comes from.
Right, right.
This features arguably the best villain in the series, whose name I don't remember.
I don't remember it either, but
Mostly
like,
because I didn't write it down. But that's just my
yeah,
bad. Because the villains actually turn into Power Ranger-esque costumes. So one is
Mhm.
a Truon Gecko and one is a lion.
yeah,
And it's a
Mm.
black lion, so it looks super dope.
it's super cool. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, sorry, it's not a gecko. It's a chameleon.
Yellow.
Important distinction.
This also features some super questionable rangers because they're the spirit rangers of Bat, Shark, and Elephant. And to this day, Power Ranger fans are still like, those guys who pass those powers, who actually have that power within them, are
Mhm.
they rangers? Who knows?
Be
Are
hard
people?
to define.
So genuinely, I kind of want to put this next Ninja Storm.
Oh, well, I
I
was gonna
would
say if we
happily
don't
put it next to Ninja Storm.
yeah, this was going to go S tier no matter what.
Jungle
Agreed. I'm
Fury
glad that's
was
a unanimous.
Jungle Fury was cool. Like the Red Ranger doing like I can't remember what kung fu he did, but every time they got to a fight scene, man, it was never boring.
And also, their morphers were sunglasses.
Yeah, it was never boring.
It's not an extra thing. It's just, oh yeah, I've just got these sunglasses, and they functioned as something else, right?
Yeah.
The Mighty Morphin watches didn't tell time. They just told them when to get to work. Like,
oh shit.
And like the OGs, you had to hide your morph in your back pocket or your backpack, man.
Which was a whole plot point where it's like, oh no, I left my morpher in X location. And you're always like, why wouldn't you have that on you at all times?
Right? Have you seen the bulge it leaves in my pocket?
Still a New Zealand series, which means it's sunny at least part of the year, which means having sunglasses on you doesn't make a difference.
Yeah.
Which means you can morph whatever you want.
Whatever you want.
Yeah, and the thing is about, like, going back to, like, RJ's character, I remember seeing, I think, the episode where, like, they were going through a potential growth of him, like, you know, getting out of the PTSD, like, scenario, because they were always talking about, like, yeah, I would never fight again, I can't just do that, and then, like, he fights, and he's getting back into it. It's, like, the most interesting scenario of how his character growth goes into, and it's, like, ooh,
and
it's
what's
just
super
unique.
interesting is that all of these are based on wild cats.
Yes.
So they're based off lions and cougars and jaguars and more cats that I don't remember the name of.
Yeah.
They're all based on wild cats, except for the chameleon.
And, you know, Rhino.
Yeah, well.
Chameleons for fun and profit.
I'm glad we unanimously agree that Jungle Fury is S tier. That takes us to the last one of the Disney era, RPM. It's based on Fusion Sentai Go-Onger.
Okay.
This one features Rose McIver as the Yellow Ranger, who would go on later to be an iZombie.
Oh yeah, okay.
That's how I knew her.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is the first true appearance of a Silver Ranger, first hinted at by a kid at the end of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie, only to not show up until this particular series 13 years later. Because that kid goes, I'm going to be the Silver Ranger, and then the credits roll.
Yes.
And then, I forget what it is, but the remix of I've Got the Power starts. It's burned into my memory. Just let me have that. But I was like, as a little kid, watching that, and me being that little kid, I was like, yeah, I want to be the Silver Ranger. And then there wasn't a Silver Ranger.
Boo.
And then we get to RPM. It's like, oh, there's a Silver and a Gold Ranger. When we get to Megaforce, because it's one more person to transfer into, there's actually a plot point about how the Silver and Gold Ranger, their Ranger key to turn into that one, needs to be one key instead of two.
There's a whole bunch of plot points about keys in Megaforce that we're gonna talk about because I had to sit through it, so now all of you do too. But
right?
let's stay here.
I know nothing of RPM.
Where the villain has already won. You can't leave this bubble city, or because it's dangerous to be out there. Like, you'll get hit by raiders or something like that. But that's where we start this, like, the main series. I believe he shows up in a black car and just rips around in the wilderness for a little while, and someone invites him in, and then they start going on. This features the incredible Dr. K as the mentor, who then later shows up and provides more help in Beast Morphers. So I want to put this above Mighty Morphin.
I don't know anything of this show. I'm looking at the picture of them right now. Their costumes look kind of...
The only thing that it loses points on is the Zords look absolutely stupid. They all have big eyeballs on them.
Look dumb as hell. I'm glad you mentioned it. But...
That's just like one of them.
Oh, man.
And they all have big faces on them. Like, it's so good. But
no, that's not for real. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's the case. The Green Ranger actually called attention to is like, so if we're based on cars, why do they all have faces? And Dr. K goes, because I like to put faces on them.
No.
Also, why are we
awful answer.
And why are we dressed in latex? It's not latex. It's a battle specific, like, fighting fabric. I'm like, oh, I'm glad you, like, drew attention to that.
This Zord looks like the Zord you get from a dollar store.
It looks like
a knockoff.
This looks like it comes from a series. Yeah, it looks like it comes from a Power Ranger series. If a Power Ranger series went animated for like a general audience of like 4 to 6 years old.
You're not wrong.
Does that mean it has to go in B tier?
B tier. Oh, that's being generous.
I would put it in B because I respect your
Put it at the front
feelings
of
of
B.
appreciating it, but it's not good, Red.
Oh.
It's just not.
Ooh.
So you would
I'm
put
okay
it at the
with
front of C.
I'll put it in C. I've never
Best
watched
C.
it, so I can't put it dumpster. But
that would
like,
make it better than Time Force and better than SPD.
Yes, it's better than those.
Yes.
I-
The only thing I would probably give it is because of like just Rose McIver. Like that's about it. Because I
Their
just remember her a
swords
little bit.
have cartoon eyes, like a Pixar film, man.
Oh man.
Oh,
You want to know what's great? We do meet those Zords again in a later series,
No, we don't.
and it's a
Why?
whole plot point that this sentient car is causing problems.
Oh wait.
So anyway, it's going in C tier above Time Force.
Got it.
Sorry, Red. Where it belongs.
Now we get to the ones I specifically don't like. This is part of the again, RPM was the end of the Disney era, so Saban got the license back. They went through Nickelodeon, who basically almost wiped the slate clean until he didn't, but we'll talk about that when we get there. Samurai. And for the
Samurai was
sake of-
bad.
For the sake of this episode, Samurai, Super Samurai, Megaforce, Super Megaforce, Dino Charge, Dino Supercharge, and Ninja Steel and Super Ninja Steel, they're all one series. They're
sorry.
all like
What?
with each other.
Is that how they connected each other?
It's basically season 2. They just added the Super. And that means they could redo the toys and resell them, but keep the same like toy shape. Sell the same toy to you twice.
Capitalism.
So
Samurai was actually bad.
So it looks
not
like the
only
powers
is
are-
how we made all the characters bad. The writing is bad. When they do the drawing in the air for that insignia to go on their helmet, it's wrong. The insignia they draw in the air isn't anything. It's not henshin for a transform. It's just nothing. It's useless.
Oh shit.
They're just scribbling in the air.
This series is based on a Samurai Sentai Shinkenger. This is a return of an all-American cast and shot in America. This features the notable return of Bulk and Skull. And
oh wait, hold on, I'm reading something here. The series also reintroduced Bulk without Skull. He had his nephew Spike.
yeah, well, close enough. Might as well be. This also is the first female good Red Ranger. So like points, I guess. Listen, the positives
There is no redemption.
do not outweigh the negatives here. This is it's trash.
Is that dumpster fire for you?
I
Yes,
would put
absolutely.
it in dumpster fire. I would put it at the end of dumpster. I would make it the worst.
Yeah,
series
it's
thus
worse
far.
than Mystic Force.
It's worse than Mystic Force.
Absolutely.
In my like binge watching Power Rangers that I've been doing the last couple years, I got through Mystic Force. I finished that series. I got halfway through the first episode of Samurai and went, I can't watch this.
No shit.
It's that bad.
It's that bad. Well,
Like,
that's
at least
too
watching
bad.
Mystic Force, you can mock it and have fun. You
Right.
can't even do that with Samurai. It's
I-
just not good.
That's too bad. Their costumes are they're not terrible.
No, they're not terrible, but once they get their Super Samurai form and they get that white armor on top, pass.
Mm-hmm.
So now we get to Megaforce. Let me start by saying I dislike Megaforce the most. It's my most hated series.
Okay.
Megaforce.
Yeah, they don't look very good. They don't look very good.
Megaforce's original season,
Yeah.
Tenso Sentai Go Sager, was based on angels. Super Megaforce's was a Kaizuku Sentai Gokaiger, was based on pirates.
It was a hell of an aesthetic switch.
Right? This was also the series where they got the Ranger keys. So then they were able to turn into previous Ranger teams and protagonists. So they did an all red one time, and they did I think they did an all blue one time, and I think they also transformed into they called it a Super Ranger form, where they transformed into Sentai characters who were never Power Rangers.
What?
Yeah.
Okay,
Wait.
There's
Hold
a
on.
Sentai
I've got
series
some
that's based on
defenses for
music
this
notes.
series.
Okay, wait. Pull back. Explain that one to me, please.
So they have these Ranger keys, and they fit it into their Morpher, and then they turn it. Then they do the call out of whatever series it is.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So if they were turning into Mighty Morphin, they would go Tyrannosaurus, and then they would turn into the Red Ranger.
Right.
They turned the key of this one, went Super Mega Mode, and one of the Yellow Ranger turned into a Yellow Ranger that was not a Power Ranger.
That was not. What do you mean, like that was never in a series at all?
It's never been a series. It was only a Sentai.
Really? No. Huh. Okay.
I would much prefer to watch the Sentai of this season because it pays homage to the 35 years as of that point for the Legendary Battle, which, fun fact, in Japanese is called 199 Legendary Battle Cross. Japanese name's better. Infinitely better.
Always.
Whereas here was just called Legendary Battle. Pass. Also, bad. Because the Legendary Battle with Tommy being there 3 different times with no explanation.
Very funny.
We get the voices of some characters, but they're not actually in the suits, which is worse.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
We get Rangers in that mega crossover who aren't even Rangers.
What do you mean there aren't even Rangers?
They were never Power Rangers. They're only Sentai. They left them in on accident.
Oh, really?
Someone fucked up.
Right? Because in the Sentai that they're borrowing from, it features basically 200 Power Ranger people.
Yeah. So one's from series that they never, ever used.
A handful. And they turned into one that was never one that they used.
That was never an official team, but it comes from the Japanese series and just have the footage of it. That's crazy shit.
For example, I would rather watch the Sentai because the Red Ranger goes from all the way from, I think it's when they're based on cards. So it turns into Jack, and he's got a like a deck of cards heart or a spade on his face.
Okay.
All the way up to that season, and it's 35 morphs in like 2 minutes.
Oh, I think you shared this once with me.
It really does chain them together.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy stuff. Yeah, I remember that.
And they go like consecutively. And then he burns out the morphers, or his connection to their morphing grid per se, and runs himself out of energy. And because the red and the silver Sentai are currently sharing a mind, the silver gets to use the 6th Ranger key, as they call it in Megaforce, and dons the worst battleizer I've ever seen in my entire life.
Are you talking about that gold-silver mess with all the black and all the heads on it and stuff?
6th Ranger
just
floating on there? Dumb.
I need an image. I need to see this because I'm now confused.
That now. that thing is nightmare fuel, man. It is nightmare fuel. It is heads.
Why is this a thing?
It's not.
It's ridiculous, man.
Who created like this?
Head on head on head on head.
Okay, you're objectively right that this is horrifying and that this isn't a good series. But can I please make my stupid case for it?
Go right on ahead.
Absolutely, we will hear you out.
Okay, so this was one that I watched right after Ninja Storm. So like
I'm sorry for your loss.
I was riding the Power Rangers vibes, and I was willing to be a bit more generous than it deserved. But the Red Ranger in this series, he comes across as a literal, actual goddamn robot. Like, he's not a human being. But there's also an actual for real robot, Robo Knight, in this series, who is my favorite character because he dies and comes back evil. And frankly, he and the robot Red Ranger have a pseudo bromance going on, and it's a whole thing. And like, just watching this guy incapable of emotion getting his ass beat by a robot while begging it to have feelings was one of the funniest things I've seen in a long time.
But Robo Knight comes as fast as he goes.
Robo Knight was a gem. And the villains in this series were very funny and interesting. And the fact that it switched aesthetics was completely baffling. And the fact that they steer Zords with pirate ship wheels and that makes sense somehow, also completely nonsense. It was bad, but it was watchable bad.
Access, like Lion Zord.
No. Hold up. How did they? No. Pause. Someone pause, please. Rewind to the fucking part of the part where they steer their Zords. What are they using?
Pirate ship wheels.
Why? Because
they've got the pirate
based on pirates.
But they were angels once. Don't
But
forget.
what?
Well, when there were angels, they just like did normal Zord things. But after
Yeah.
the series switch, they suddenly use pirate ship wheels.
They became
It was
pirates.
really
I
great.
hate this already. I hate it here.
I remember the helmets having pirate hats, like the tricorder hat on their head. It looked dumb. Their pirate costumes looked dumb.
Where's the pirate costumes? I need to see this.
You never seen them? They have like the giant collars, pirate hats on their head.
It was bad, but in a fun way, versus all of our dumpster fire stuff, which is bad in a not fun way. So I want to put it at the very bottom of C.
So that's why, because I remember for some reason seeing like the Megaforce outfits and saw this at some weird point, and I was like,
What is
this a
this?
new series? No, like I
Yes.
legit thought it was like a new series, and I was like,
It's
huh?
also really funny that the Black Ranger suddenly has to be green
So,
because there's
Because it's
colors
majority
don't work
black,
historically.
Yeah.
but the Green Rangers, some of them, they're the 6th Rangers, so that means he should get powers to that one. No, I'm pissed off at it. Chapped.
No,
That's fair.
man.
But they didn't. They didn't give him those powers for the Green Ranger.
No,
Megaforce is going into the Rita's dumpster, man.
it's going on
Fine,
the back
but
of Rita.
it's going
It's
at the
going
top
at
of
the end
the
of
dumpster.
Samurai.
No, it is not worse than Samurai.
Okay, fine. It's going before Samurai. It's slightly better. 'Cause
Fine.
at least Jason David Frank at least shows up.
He does.
That brings us to bigger and greener pastures.
Mhm.
Our first, but probably not our last, 10 Ranger team in Dino Charge / Dino Supercharge. This one was based off a Zioden Sentai Q Ranger. This featured a 10 Ranger team. The first one of its kind. Other colors included aqua, graphite, and I believe the winged one was here as well, where it was just a big fucking bird who transformed.
Oh my god, I'd forgotten about the bird.
Who squeezes his head and everything into a Power Ranger suit.
Much like what the dog one.
Much like the dog one, yep.
They don't look like their armor. It's kind of cool with the whole visor takes over the helmet, and like they only have a single like little mouthpiece there. Their armor pieces kind of remind me of Saint Seiya. They don't look terrible, you know. I've never watched it, don't know what it's all about, but they look cool though. I'll give them that.
I've only seen snippets again of this one because of the Blue Ranger actor, who's a very good stuntman, and actually I believe his younger brother gets into the series at some point too.
He sure
Not with
does.
Dino Charge, but yeah, the
younger
he
brother of
gets
somebody
involved.
who's in Dino Charge gets to be in Ninja Steel, but we're almost there.
But yeah, nonetheless, with this one, the only thing that is really sticking out to me is the Red Ranger's I think specific suit, where it gets upgraded. I'm putting it up, or if we could put it up.
The yellow one's kind of off-putting. He looks kind of weird. But...
Yeah, I'm
He's
putting.
supposed to be gold, and it's because he's a time traveler, and he's got a whole plot line.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah, but
Most of the
that red suit.
A handful of the characters in this series are
Mhm.
actually from different points in time, which is cool. We have one from prehistoric times, which is cool because we're playing with dinosaurs again. So
Yeah,
we kind of
we love
understand the powers
dinosaurs.
a little bit better. We have an unwilling mentor turn into a Power Ranger. That's where the Purple Ranger comes in.
Okay.
Kendall.
Whoa, ho. I'm seeing the whole squad now. Holy shit.
They look cool.
Yeah, they look cool,
There's
man.
a lot of them.
Yeah,
but,
they look pretty cool.
There is just a lot of them, and they all start to look kind of the same. They're all mostly cool colors.
It reminds me of Saint Seiya a whole lot.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, a whole lot, because there's a whole lot of Zodiac Knights, right?
Yep.
It reminds me of that. It's a cool concept though. I like it. Huh,
It's good.
I've never watched it. What do you you guys seen it, right? What's the take on it?
Yep. So to kind of spoil the end,
Mhm.
this one's cool because they reset time and make it so they are a loop series that goes back in time and erases the actual thing that creates the energems in the first place.
Oh, okay.
So not only do they dispose of their powers, they can't technically have them anymore.
They can't ever come back.
Yeah.
They undo their powers.
Whoa.
Except for they definitely do, and we'll get to there.
Fuck.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Bitch.
So
Where are we
we're
putting
replacing
it?
Dino
Yeah.
Charge. Yeah.
I want an A.
I will agree to that because of the whole concept of so many of them, and they look pretty fucking rad.
Very interesting.
I will
that
put an
most
A.
that all of the dinosaur series got put in A.
I wonder why. Almost like dinosaurs are good.
Dinosaurs are good.
But
So
Okay.
where specifically we're put? Yeah, I was gonna say where we putting this specifically.
after
I
Dino
want to put it
Thunder,
above
before
Wild
Zeo.
Force.
I've never watched it, so I'll put it before Zeo, after Dino Thunder.
Okay.
Wait, so what? Okay, what is the A tier supposed to look like right now?
It's
Because
Mighty Morphin, it's Wild Force, it's Dino Thunder, then Dino Charge / Super Dino Charge, and then Zeo. Our next one is Ninja Steel / Super Ninja Steel. This one is based off Shuriken Sentai Ninja. It's got famously the Gold Cowboy Ranger.
I'm sorry.
Gold Cowboy.
He's the Gold Ranger, but his hat
Someone
that's got a star on it looks like a cowboy hat.
Oh my
Throw it
God.
up,
Just like
please.
to call
Calling
him
it
the
silly
Cowboy Ranger.
is
Throw it up there now,
calling
please.
it
I have to see
silly is
this.
an understatement.
Oh
I
my
have to
God.
see this. I have to see this.
I'm giving you the most clearest image that I just found.
I have
Good
to see
Lord.
this. What did he just say? Oh man.
What in
Oh,
the
man.
His
actual...
Can
morpher
someone
is a
please-
guitar? Because he
That's
plays
a good-
guitar because he's hella country? No.
I
Like,
hate
when I say
it.
hella country, like, this dude probably would ride into the series on straight up a John Deere.
Pause. One of two things. First, can someone throw up an image of the entire squad, please?
Aye, Captain.
Please. I gotta see the whole squad first. And second,
It was.
if it's called Ninja Steel,
Why is there a
the
cowboy?
hell do we have a cowboy?
Well,
Because he's a
cowboys
West...
and ninjas were kind of.
He's
you
the
know.
Western ninja, I guess. God damn it.
I've got the picture.
The very
I've
two
got it.
things you just said are an oxymoron I never want to hear ever again.
Hey, I'm not the one who wrote the show, okay? I did not write that character. Do not blame me.
Oh, man. No,
No,
dude.
I still hate the helmet. I still hate it.
This shit is stupid. Tell me what this is all about.
Nope, I have not.
So, long ago, or well,
Mhm.
I guess about 20 years before our main character, because they're supposed to be not high school, a little after, but that's okay. Like, they're working jobs. A space shuriken hits the ground.
Oh God.
Inside of that is the thing that makes their morphers. Just, I don't remember what it's called, but it's that. It's like the Celestial Ninja Steel thing. So
Okay.
then Red Ranger's dad touches it, gets zooped, and isn't seen again until later. We start the series with our Red Ranger in space as I think he's a garbage collector.
Okay.
And features who would become the mentor character. The actor played a couple other people in Power Rangers lore, but they're not the same character. But we'll get to that. So he's also got a talking red robot, because robots are cool. And he gets to come to Earth, and then the series goes on. The team meets, and they get their powers. So we get blue, we get white, we get red, we get pink, and we get yellow. As most things do, we get our 6th Ranger later, and he struts in with a cowboy hat. I swear to God, he rides a John Deere in. He comes in on an ox. Like, he just rides in, and he's just cowboy as shit.
Gold Cowboy.
You know, y'all.
He has tassels on his boots.
He does. So the plot goes on, and they find that the evildoer of this universe is going to gather up the pieces and go put the gem back. Once they put the gem back, the dad from earlier, this Red Ranger, and the person I talked about earlier who was previous in Ranger lore, all get to become Red Rangers. So for about 3 episodes, we have 3 Red Rangers with the different stripe. So one is black, like the one we've put on screen currently.
Okay.
The other one is the black part is white, and in the other part, the red part is gold.
Okay.
Yeah,
This series is just a lot.
it's a lot.
Like, there's no way to talk around it. It's just a lot.
I'm gonna put it on the looks like shit pile. It doesn't even sound very like entertaining or interesting in that matter too. Sounds a little boring.
I could put it like topicey. It was okay.
It was okay. Okay. I'm gonna take
I
your
didn't
word for it.
hate it. was
I
just like-
probably would put it. Where was the one? Yeah, honestly, I almost want to call it better than Overdrive, but it's definitely a popcorn season.
That's fair.
That's
Like,
yeah.
you can just sit down and watch it, and you're like, all right, I guess.
Like, everything makes sense as you're watching it, but explaining it is just ridiculous.
I don't know, man. Like, just again, for me, it's all costume and mecha, and when costumes look terrible, then I won't watch it, and they just look like
The
They look
morphers are
kinda
big,
silly.
huge, giant, like shurikens,
man.
and they
Very
spit
I
as a
don't
morph.
know.
I hate it. It's the worst one.
I'm comfortable with a C rank for these guys.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
okay.
because they're ugly.
Yeah, like I could never get myself to watch that because they look like Power Ranger knockoffs. Like another company made
Like,
this
if
up
you
and they're
were
like,
gonna
yeah,
make
dude.
like an approximation of Power Rangers, this is what it'd be.
I feel like Ninja Steel is like a series where they like looked at Ninja Storm and they're like, how can we like do something as close as this, but not copy it fully? And then they went with this, and they're like,
Yeah. It's like someone had heard the plot of a handful of other Power Ranger series and figured if they just mashed enough of those elements together, they'd get something worthwhile.
No, for me, man, this is C rank hardcore. Like this, I don't know if I could ever even get down to watch
C
this.
rank, we have RPM, we've got Time Force, and we've got S.P.D. Which one is it better than?
Is it better than any of them at all?
I think it's better than Time Force.
I'm gonna put it ahead because funny thing about C rank is everyone in that C rank is like a cop force. So
We don't
So
like
at least they're not
cops.
cops, so it gets to be better.
Yeah, so it
That's
gets to be better
ridiculous.
because of that.
Like, you're not good, but you're not cops.
So
So
That's stupid.
damn, dude.
No, just say that again because I need to hear the explanation.
You're not good, but you're not cops.
Oh,
That's
man.
rough.
It's jeez. It's
Fuck
like
me, do I want to put that on a shirt?
That's
Okay,
man.
now, according to the tier maker, we've run out of series. However,
Mhm.
since the tier maker got made, we have one more, and it's Beast Morphers.
Yes.
And
Now let me look
arguably,
this up quickly.
so Beast Morphers comes from Tokome Sentai Go Busters. In the Sentai, they say go, and then they transform. Sentai borrowed from Power Rangers instead of the other way around. They call their combination Zord the Megazord in the Sentai. So that's
Okay.
Mhm. It's a return to pressing buttons when you do stuff, but the buttons do actually have purpose, which is good.
Yep. Like, it's got great crossovers. It was the latest one to have a crossover episode, and Jason Lee Scott gets to come back and be the original Red Ranger again.
Right
And
on.
does an amazing coin flip, and then catches it, and then turns into the Tyrannosaurus.
Their costumes look a little bikerish.
Yeah,
It's a
Right.
whole thing that's a very modern aesthetic.
For me, like I don't know, like design wise, it looks a little plain compared to everything you've seen over the years. But like they don't look terrible.
It's not that I hate it. It's just I'm not the biggest fan of the helmets,
Yeah.
especially the
I don't
yellow
know.
one. It's not my most favorite.
Yeah.
No, yeah, because I remember once I think when they premiered the series, and I think it was I don't know who produces it, XD or like Disney XD or something. I can't remember.
No, it's still Saban.
But sorry, like when it got promoted
Nickelodeon.
for TV wise, like where was it being
Nickelodeon.
released? Nickelodeon. Yeah, thank you. So when I saw, I think the snippet of that on YouTube or something, I remember seeing them like getting into the like. So it's the first episode, the pilot episode, and them getting into the suit. I saw the helmets and I was like,
The
no,
helmets are kind of ugly.
they're hella ugly. Like,
It leaves a lot to be desired, man. Like their costumes are very plain. Just if you were to give me this image and it didn't tell me this is Power Rangers, I'd have been like, this is like a ripoff. This is not Power Rangers. This is like a ripoff.
That's fair.
you know
They've
what
got
though?
weird little robot companions, which are kind of fun, but also kind of weird. They do we've got a kid who's like hanging out with us because he works here thing better in that
Right.
kid becomes a ranger and is also just like not an unlikable character.
Right.
There's another robot, which is definitely a point in the green for me. Yes, the villains are nice.
Jesus.
Villain's hot.
They hot.
Wasn't there? Correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't there supposed to be a black dude as the
Red Ranger, yeah.
Yep. He actually
I-
is the reason why
go.
the legendary Red Ranger, Jason Lee Scott, gets to come back.
Mm,
Because he calls into the morphing grid, and that's who answers the call.
dude,
Yes.
nice.
Okay.
And this series is directly about the morphin grid. As in, like, humanity has found a way to tap into the morphin grid for, like, a power source.
Right.
And this was exactly as bad an idea as it sounds like.
And it is the most homage to previous seasons because they have a weapons lockup, and it is just a who's who in, like, different morphers and guns and swords and Lord Zed's staff for some reason. It's not explained.
It looks
Big spoiler for the end of Beast Morphers. Again, one more time, big spoiler. I'm about to spoil one of the crossover episodes of Beast Morphers.
and this is the latest series, so like
Heads up right now. Goldar comes back and gets to be Neo Goldar because he mixes
Neo Goldar.
himself with the actual Morph X or whatever the hell it's called.
that's
and
what it's
imbues
called.
himself with more power, and that's why they need the legendary Rangers to come.
Hmm.
Neo Goldar. Holy shit.
You know what? It was actually a lot of fun as a series.
Holy shit.
Right?
Look,
Super dope.
I ain't even gonna lie, but he looks kind of badass still.
Right?
Holy shit. Neo Goldar is like my new favorite thing right now.
This is also the series where we get a almost complete dinosaur-themed get-together. So Mighty Morphin comes back, Dino Charge comes back, Dino Thunder gets thrown in there too. It's all dinosaurs all the time.
We love dinosaurs and we love ninjas.
Yes, we do.
The other
Bring all
fun
the
part is
together.
the villain gets super juiced with the Morph X stuff, and that's how they get more powerful, because the good guys and the bad guys are using the same like energy source in just different ways to boost their power, and it's just kind of a power scaling battle at this point.
Who could be more Super Saiyan than the other?
It's
Pretty
over 9,000.
Literally.
So I
My
think,
God.
just for the sake of like crossovers and villains hot, I think it needs to go at the end of A tier.
Listen, man,
Yeah.
I'm in love with this Neo Goldar thing. Was the best thing you told me about all fucking day. I want A rank all kinds. Where's this going? A rank?
Wait, hold
At
on,
the end
hold
of
on.
A.
At the end of
At
A.
the end of it, okay, yeah. I was gonna
Sure.
say like, I was
It has
like
the
stressed.
stupid stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna say because like the way like some things here and there, I was like, it felt like it was still B, but like seeing Neo Goldar, I was like,
Like I wish,
okay.
like they need to do something with their costumes, because the costumes are kind of like not really popping off for me.
They're wearing jackets.
I understand.
Yeah, it just doesn't come off like a costume. It just looks like a knockoff, or like someone doing some, like, I hate to say
So
it, but
when
some
they
pretty
morph,
poor cosplay.
they put the thing
Cos-
into their
cosplay.
morpher, and like glasses show up, and then they put that in front of their eyes, and then it gives them the costume. It's
So it goes
kinda
like
lame.
through steps.
It's kind of
Sure,
Oh jeez.
sure.
They've got
No,
their supporting cast is questionable, and also they're not cops, but they are like a company. So
You know what? They have a black fellow as a Red Ranger. I love it. Neo Goldar is points. Like you just said, villain is hot AF. So so that gives it points right there. Crossovers you said are pretty big too. So yeah, I'll leave that A rank.
Yeah, at the end of A.
Just
It's not over yet, so maybe we'll come back and we'll do a full retrospective on the entire series. It's possible. It's not out of the
when they
question
do
what
like
we
a
can do.
Super Beast Morphers.
Oh Jesus Christ.
No.
I'd rather
It's just
they
Beast
didn't.
Morphers, and then we're gonna go to the next series, which I'm about to talk about.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just Beast Morphers, and it's season 1, then season 2. Thank God they dropped the Super. Praise be to Hasbro. Yeah, it's gonna go at the end of A tier.
And you said there's another one coming out.
So next year, filming required still, and they're still casting the series, is Power Rangers Dino Fury. And now that we've walked through every name of every series thus far, this is a redundant title, and I don't like it.
it's real dumb. They just picked words they knew we'd be like, oh, Power Rangers words,
They
and
took
mashed them
all the
together.
words and threw them into a random name generator, and it spun two together.
Dino Fury.
This one is going to be based off Kishiru Sentai Ryu Soja.
Right.
So this is using, as far as I can tell, the soul, the quote unquote, of dragons, of dinosaurs. We're going dinosaurs again.
I
Okay.
do like dragons.
Dragons are cool.
The editor will
They look all
we'll put it on screen that of our new logo and such, but
It's like dragons, dinosaurs, ninjas. Those are all things we can appreciate.
Yeah, they don't look terrible. Like they're better than Beast Morphers, I'll tell you that much. They look all right. Like they're not terrible. A couple of their helmets remind me of like the dragon one that they have.
Yeah,
Oh, they look like
Dragonite.
they're wearing like cages on their face. That's a little
Yeah.
weird.
That
Was it Kamen Rider Dragon Fury or something like that? I think it
It
was.
was
Dragon
Dragon
something.
Knight.
Dragon Knight. That's the one.
That's
Thank
what it
you.
was.
there's a
out west.
lot going on here.
They remi- that-
I
they're-
kind of like the swords.
The suits. It's reminding me of
Don't like
S.P.D.
the logo.
Yeah, logo's kind of plain.
Oh, that's dumb.
Logo's like it's okay just because of like
I guess I'll
the
live
Dino.
with it because I have no choice not to. But
I don't know. The
Hasbro
logo's
better
fine
do
for
a good
me.
job with these toys here.
Their helmets have eyes.
They do. At least they don't have sentient eyes.
The hills have eyes.
We don't know that
Oh.
yet.
Yeah, we like they're still casting the series, so hopefully I would love to put this series in S or an A tier when it eventually comes out. And again, we can circle back when it's out, but the hope for this one is I would love to put it in A or B tier and hopefully no lower.
On that front, they don't look bad. The helmets are kind of cool. The costumes are kind of something to get used to. The big swirly thing on their chest reminds me of Shazam a whole lot.
The
It
costume,
does, but like we've seen that kind of thing before. That's not new.
Yeah, right.
the costume is still getting at me because it's reminding me of S.P.D. with like the numbers. It's in that like text format or in that kind of format of the suit. So like I'm like it's reminding me so hard of that. I'm like,
I almost wish they dropped the silver on the left half side and just left it as a full color, right?
Yeah,
like full red, full green, full black, full
Sentai
pink,
on
full
that
blue.
one.
It looks like you're trying to rock like a Knights aesthetic, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. They're not terrible, but like if they had full color on the costume instead of having that silver, they'd probably look a lot more appealing.
Yeah, it'd look a lot cleaner.
Yeah, to me anyways. But they're not terrible. No, they're not terrible at all.
I hope it's good.
We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
And with that, I think we've reached the end of an issue.
Have we now? Have we really ended this? Well, I guess that brings it to our socials, which is our Twitter at Crusade Nerd. Our Instagram is at Nerd Crusade. And then we also upload every Wednesday to YouTube, and you can download any previous episodes or listen on your mobile device through the Anchor FM app or wherever podcasts are found by searching Nerd Crusade. And we go on Twitch as well, discussing our new segment, Itty Bitty Nerdy Committee on Thursdays. And kind of, just do a live discussion about recent news. Yeah.
All right. And I guess that's to be continued.
Thanks for tuning in. If you like this issue, go ahead and button mash the thumbs up. If you want to swing by when we have a new video, web up the subscribe button on YouTube or anywhere you can to listen to our podcast. And to be updated to know when a new issue is out, hit the bell to be notified by